Good late morning to you. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk. I'm Jared Floyd, the Digital Weather Desk. As always, powered by Century Next Bank, the exclusive banking partner of the Digital Weather Desk. Hopefully you're having a nice start to this Friday. Joining you a smidge early, as I mentioned yesterday, headed out to try to be a golfer this afternoon at the Monroe Chamber of Commerce's annual golf tournament out at Frenchman's Bend. Looking forward to swinging a golf club. Haven't played near as much over the last couple of days and weeks and months. I have obviously trying to get the Digital Weather Desk launched and got a little one at home, so not a lot of time out there. So I'm going to try to get out there early so I can get warmed up. 40-year-old back can't swing a golf club like a 25-year-old back used to. All right, look at the satellite, and you can see the cloud cover and even the outflow associated with the early round of thunderstorms across the Ark-La-Tex region. And then there's also another area of storms, mid-Mississippi Valley or lower Mississippi Valley, up toward Memphis and through eastern sections of Arkansas. Most of, actually all of that activity has stayed well out of our area for the time being. Check out the radar, brought to you by Brown's Roofing. Check out brownsroofingla.com to schedule your free inspection. And you can kind of see why there's a little bit of a, we've got to keep an eye on these storms as we go through the afternoon. And check out the radar from Shreveport, and while most of this activity has been quite limited, you can kind of see the outflow surging out on the bottom part of the screen, south of the I-30 corridor. That kind of those arcing green lines. That's the outflow moving away from these storms. But there's still some storms bubbling up along that outflow as it kind of surges away from the main mass of storms that continues out over eastern Oklahoma. So you can kind of see why I think that with those boundaries in place and a warm, humid environment as we go deeper into the afternoon, there's cause for at least the potential for some isolated or maybe even widely scattered storms across the area. That said, Futurecast says, Jared, you're probably wrong. And so maybe, again, my hunch is incorrect. But again, the boundary will be there. Some warm, humid air in place. So again, a few spotty showers and storms can't be completely ruled out as we go through the rest of the day on Friday. As that whatever's left over in the atmosphere washes out through the day on Saturday, we're just left with the southerly winds and the bubble-up isolated storm potential across the region. Again, rain chances for the weekend, I've brought them back down a little bit, just to kind of give you a general reference of the overall thinking in the forecast. And Sunday, probably headed toward something very similar. Low temperatures this morning were actually quite pleasant. Mid to upper 60s, some areas near 70 degrees, 66 Vicksburg, 69 in Monroe, 67 in El Dorado and Camden and Magnolia. Temperatures right now still not that bad. Some areas in the low to mid 80s, others upper 80s, approaching 90. Again, I'm joining you an hour earlier than usual. I join you usually around lunchtime, right at noon. But if you're taking an early lunch, then here it is. And when you take your lunch and you go, oh, I missed Jared's Live, well, here it's been. It's just been sitting here for an hour. Temperatures probably obviously a little bit warmer then. Rainfall temperatures rain totals over the last 24 hours. Not much of the area has seen rain. What we saw yesterday was very, very spotty and pretty short-lived, but overall, I would expect to kind of repeat that process today. Check the heat stress levels, and I'm not showing you this to startle anybody, but I'm showing it to you simply because it is a product that is available, and these types of levels that we see in terms of heat stress, seeing going from elevated to the higher levels, pretty common this time of year. So again, I don't want folks to be alarmed and go, oh no, this is bad, Jared's showing heat stress. This is just, again, a product to keep in mind that where we don't see the rain this weekend, and vast majorities of the area won't see rain, the heat and humidity combined still at levels that are pretty uncomfortable. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Just be smart with your outdoor time. I know we're getting deeper into the September and starting to look toward the fall months, but it's still quite hot and above normal for this time of year. Again, I'm not showing you these types of things to startle you. Again, it's a product that's available for me to bring to you, and those types of levels are pretty common for this time of year. I would expect Sunday, this stops at lunchtime on Sunday, but I would expect the early to mid-afternoon on Sunday to be pretty similar as well. Quick check of Gabrielle. Looks a lot healthier than it did, especially, about 36 hours ago. I was wondering if this storm was going to survive at all. It looks like it's starting to kind of slough off some of the dry air and some of the shear. So maximum sustained wind still holding at 50 miles per hour, but there's at least some convection there at the base of the storm. The 10 a.m. advisory, which was just issued about an hour ago as I join you live here, still shows a turn to the north and a gradual intensification of this storm as it passes to the east of Bermuda, eventually perhaps reaching Category 2 hurricane status, then wandering out into the North Atlantic. Again, impacts to the U.S. are not expected, but just a reminder that hurricane season is in full force, and there's also some tropical waves lining up behind it that we'll keep an eye on as well. Of course, your tropical forecast made possible by Russell Moore Lumber. Not just lumber, check them out at Desert Street in Monroe. Grills, flat tops, barbecue seasonings, all kinds of stuff. Daytime highs today back into the 90s. Of course, that comes with the caveat that if you can catch the showers and storms, you may get stopped at 90, 91. You see the numbers are a little bit lower in southern Arkansas and across far northwestern Louisiana. There's going to be some residual cloud cover that spills in this afternoon. And I would think that you folks probably have the best rain chances out of anybody in the area. So daytime highs may be a few degrees cooler there. As you move farther east and southeast, if you see the rain, it'll be later in the day. And the rain chances are more limited for you folks. So it will probably be hotter, back into the mid-90s in many spots. The rest of the weekend, Saturday, mid-90s, rain chances around 10%. Same for Sunday. Obviously, the heat continues. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And again, a spotty storm or two can't be ruled out. But the overall rain chances for Saturday and Sunday are more isolated. Look at the rest of the forecast as we look at the 7-day, powered by 3B Outdoor Equipment. And most spots look for the rain chances to stay in the mid-90s, morning lows upper 60s to low 70s. But 40% rain chances. Hot dog. Haven't seen those in a while. Up there for Wednesday as we look for a weak cold front to approach the region. I wouldn't be surprised for rain chances to stay at around 30% for the southern parishes and counties on Thursday. But that's a possibility, and it could bring temperatures down as well. I will say, cold fronts this time of year should be met with a grain of salt. Even though it's in the 7-day forecast and I'm going, hey, this looks like it's going to happen. Take it with a grain of salt until we get closer to it. Because there's a lot of opportunities for cold fronts to not pass through the area or to stall over the region. Looks like rain chances are a pretty decent shot, but in terms of the cooler temperatures, keep your fingers crossed because, again, can't guarantee anything this time of year. We're still in that transition from summer to fall, and it takes a pretty potent cold front to get weaseled all the way through the region. Reminder that the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank is brought 100% free of charge to you by the local businesses that you see there on your screen. If your local business is interested in partnering with us, just email me at jared@digitalweatherdesk.com. Like and share and comment on all of our content. Follow us on your favorite social media platforms. If you don't know how to get there, you can go to digitalweatherdesk.com, and we can, and all the different social platforms are available there. And again, just be a part of the conversation. Thanks so much for joining us on this late morning, kind of early edition of the midday forecast. I'll join you a little bit later once the tournament wraps up this evening. I'll let you know how we do. Wish us luck. We're going to need it. And I'll have a look at the forecast as we go into the evening and the rest of the weekend. Your football forecasts are coming up in a couple of hours, and so we'll have a look at those across the region for the weekend, especially if you are headed west for the ULM-UTEP game out in West